Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Johnny Fairplay, it's midnight here in Ohio, but you are not in Ohio. You are in California. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. We have a full house here at Busby's West. Let's hear it.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never been to a live Survivor NSFW event, this one, the West Coast ones are one-of-a-kind events because for each fan, you have a matching survivor. It's 50-50 previous survivors and fans. We have Ryno from Pro Islands. We have Jay from Millennials versus Gen X. We got JP from Survivor Vanuatu. Just snuck in here. We have Fabio, winner of Nicaragua. We have Rachel from Millennials versus Gen X. We have the Nina Porsche from Worlds Apart.
Worlds Apart.
And then we have someone that we're not allowed to talk about. But I will say this, he's wearing a stupid fucking hat.
Oh my God, dude, I tell you what, I wish I was there, kinda. I wish I was. Because a lot of those people I have never met. So what's going on, you guys? Tonight's episode, Johnny Fairplay, your man War Dog, is out of the game. And honestly, dude, I was bummed out. You know, I was waiting to see War Dog do horrible in another challenge, but he's out of the game, so we didn't get to see that.
Well, he's saving up. He's like, I mean, everyone's just like, well, obviously Joe's coming back to win, Edge of Extinction. The entire theme was set up for this guy that doesn't normally, compete on the social aspect of the game. They're like, hey, we'll just give him a fast pass to the end. But no. This guy, the War Dog, he's purposely been tanking all of these challenges. This is all strategy. There's no way that one man could be that horrible at every fucking challenge in the history of Survivor. If there was a shoe tying challenge, this motherfucker would be like, he would have triple knots and they'd still come untied.
Oh, dude. I tell you what, though, with War Dog being on this season,
it's a good thing he's not here, Matt. I would imagine he's immensely bigger than me.
I imagine so, but I'm missing the War Dog. So War Dog is gone. He's off to the Edge of Extinction.
And no Edge of Extinction. How the fuck do you have the best personality on this season, who I hate, by the way? He has imaginary fucking names. He wears a stupid... I could go on all night, but I'm not, because he's much big. I mentioned that I would assume he's much bigger than me. So anyway, how do you show clips of Reem and Keith each week, but you have your star player, you don't get one clip of this motherfucker on the Edge of Extinction?
I don't
How is this
know.
possible?
They didn't do any previously on Survivor, and they didn't show War Dog on Edge of Extinction. So all I know is Rick Devens is desperate. Because at this point, Ron's lied to him every time there's a vote, dude. And he kind of, Ron approaches Devens and kind of doing some damage control. He says, Rick, everyone's going to vote you out next time, but I have this secret advantage that I'm just going to hand over to you. Even though it's an expired deal, he basically gives it to Rick Devens. And Devin kind of, he kind of buys into it. You know what I mean? I might think one would question the authenticity of it, but at this point, I mean, it looks like he's thinking it's a real advantage.
Well, that's why I have Jay right here with me right now. Jay from Millennials versus Gen X. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the pregame stuff with our good friend David, who is on the jury or on the Edge of Extinction right now. But David's plan going into this, he was attempting to find some parchment paper and write this and write down somehow find ink. I don't know how that would happen, but he was going to write down a fake advantage and call it the ultimate super advantage. And if you find this, you can call out anyone you want and then automatically send them home. So like if someone were to find this, they would get up and be like, ha, even though you thought we were an alliance and you thought I was going to take you to the end, I am fucking you so hard right now because I have the super secret power. And then Jeff goes, there's no, and then you're like, I was just kidding about all that because I knew, because it's a show. And you're like, fuck, my game is destroyed. So that's the sinister mind of David.
Yeah.
can you relate to that in any way?
No, I never found a fake idol. I never used a fake idol. You know, I know nothing about David's secret plans and stuff like that.
It was almost like you were oozing this fake confidence of like, this is so fucking real.
Dude, when he made my fake idol, I was like, how the fuck did he find paint, first of all? So how he's going to find ink? I don't know. It's David. He'll probably make it somehow.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Dave he's a schemer, but I love it.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, I've been looking forward to this live podcast so I can ask you about. Like, I met David at Hearts of Reality 2 years ago.
Okay.
When we met?
Yeah, we met there.
We met at that one. And people have asked, they're just like, you know, have you met David? Have you met? And like, what are they really like? And I'm just like, honestly, I'm like, David is not like the character you see or you saw on Millennials versus Gen X. I think he's even nicer in real life.
Oh, he's super nice. You know, I was staying in his house actually when he was filming this.
Really?
So yeah, he let me crash at his house. I lived in his house for a month.
Man, I need rent-free friends.
No, it's not rent-free.
No, my Jewish friend David charged you rent. I'm not.
Yes.
It's all coming together.
Surprise.
They're smarter. They are. I think I'm allowed in 2019 to say that they are smarter. So.
I plead the fifth.
So, Matt.
Yes.
Back to you.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, after this, man, we go to the reward challenge, and you know, I don't know about you guys, but this is always one of my favorite episodes of every Survivor season, and this one did not disappoint. It's a reward challenge. It's the loved one visits, and it was pretty good one, man. I tell you what, though, Rick Devens, first one out. His wife comes out. She makes a comment on his beard. She's like, man, that's a pretty dope beard, Rick Devens. I don't know if it's as fucking ridiculous as this fucking beard. However,
he's got nothing in the beard game. Come on.
No, he doesn't. But his wife is giving it props. But you know what?
No, she thinks he looks hot because he's losing that dad bod.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's still there in as a reference, but it's getting better.
But
it's
dynamics,
a work in progress. I think anything is better for Rick Devens.
But I think it was cool. You can tell they have kind of a lighthearted, just fun relationship. He didn't kind of get as emotional as I would have thought. If I was out there and saw my wife after that much time, I'm a tough looking dude, but when it all comes down to it, I'm a sappy, sensitive guy, unlike the black-hearted Jonny Fairplay. But it was cool seeing Devens and his wife. And then, man, Julie is up next, and her husband.
I don't know if anyone caught this. Julie cried. This is not her first time crying. She does a lot of crying on Survivor.
Yeah, she cried more than Adam.
But I think it was cool, man, because when Julie's husband comes out, I found it pretty cool that she actually, she's feeling a change in the way she's gonna come back home and be a different style wife and a mom. And I do think that all of us that play Survivor, we do change in some way or another through this crazy experience.
I was going to go the opposite route on that. I think we all say like when I get home, I'm going to be a better person and all this. And that lasts like a week. And you're just like, fuck that.
No, Fairplay. That's just you.
That's it. Oh, so you were like, I'm going to be a better person than you were. Like,
yeah,
I've seen your Instagram and what you do to Adam Klein.
Well, that's the same as Alan. That was never going to change.
No, but I seriously think that, and I'll ask you guys this, man. It's like you appreciate things more than you did prior to playing Survivor. Like for me, anytime I just have a fresh glass of water, I'm like, I think back to when I was like, I'd sit on the island and I'm like, I would give $5,000 for a case of fucking bottled water right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm so thirsty and shit. And I just appreciate the little things like, being able to get in my refrigerator or whatnot. So
or
not sleeping in the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting out of the rain was huge. I will say that like on the loved ones, I consider myself an expert on the loved ones challenge. I don't know, just based on history. And when I won with Thunder D, one worst moments out there. They fortunately, like everyone, like if you're out there long enough, everyone has one bad day. I mean, just like you turn into Julie, you just, so fortunately my bad day didn't make TV. It was, after we did the Dead Grandma Lie, you get all that. And then it's just me and Thunder D talking. And he's just like, dude, how you doing? I'm just like, I just want a Whopper with cheese and no onion. I don't even care if it has onion on it. I want Dr. Pepper and French fries, but not French fries from Burger King because they suck.
Jesus.
But I would eat them. And so that didn't. So I'm just like, I get, like you're like, I will appreciate fucking anything when this is done. But at the same time, I'm gonna be good. Like it took me 10 years to become a better person. So,
no,
that's a lot of time.
And I mean, and we talk a lot, Jonny, and you appreciate and love the experience and love Survivor more now than you ever have. So I think it's a testament to the game. So next we got Lauren.
Well,
Go ahead.
Hold on, Matt. Real quick. Let me bring a couple other survivors to see if they feel like they changed.
Oh yeah, right on.
Fabio is just coming out of a nap. Do you feel like you made decisions to change? While you're like, when I get back, I'm gonna be this totally different person, or you're like, nah, you had $1 million. I mean, I think there were some lifestyle changes at least.
Yeah, I didn't quite. It took me also 10 years. But I'm changing now.
Yeah. Fabio's doing good.
Good. Well, I mean, you ended up, I don't know when you cut your hair, but cut your hair. It was long then, and it's short now. You look good. Mine's short now, too. Same with you, Jonny. Fuck. We're all getting old. We're cutting our damn hair off.
I think Jay's growing his out. It's okay.
Well, Jay is.
Okay.
Jay's a badass.
Yeah. He's young and dumb, full of. We'll get into that. So what did you make personal decisions out there on the island? Or are you just like, hey, when if I win this, I'm gonna do this, and then you're like,
I was talking about ripping donuts in a Camaro and spending. I traveled and bought a house or a condo and.
I think ripping donuts in a Camaro is better than buying a dog park.
Who did that?
That was Eddie's plan, right?
Oh,
was
yeah,
it buying
yeah.
a bar for dogs?
Yep, that was Eddie's plan.
What was it? A dog bar.
Yeah. I don't even know what the hell that is, but yeah.
So yeah, donuts in a Camaro fucking tops that all day. I mean, that's like smart. Like Ozzy, his plan, on Fans vs. Favorites, this didn't make the air. Ozzy wanted to start a knife company, and he was going to make this thing called the Ozzy knife. And you've never heard of anything remotely like this. This is a completely original idea. So Ozzy wanted to have this knife, and it was this long blade, but in the handle part, this is new, so don't try to rip this off. It unscrews, and there's a compass, and you can put like toothpicks and other.
There's a couple cool tactical stuff out there.
Possibly the fucking Rambo knife. That is exactly like this, 100%, that Ozzy had never heard of. So I think it worked out that Ozzy didn't win, and despite 18 more attempts, still has not. So I think that's good because that's where his money was going. I didn't have the heart to tell him any different. So
well, we always talk, Jonny, that if you won the game, you'd be freaking dead by now.
Yeah, I would have been. If I had won on Pearl Islands, I'd definitely be dead. So that's good. You guys have me here. So, and I'm drinking a ginger beer. So
right on. So we see Lauren and her dad, which is a beautiful thing.
Fabio, anything else you want to add?
Not specifically.
No. Okay. Nina, did you make any personal decisions to change your lifestyle out there, or you're like, I'm a good person, fuck it?
Hi.
Hi, man.
How are you?
I missed you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I missed you guys.
I know.
No.
No, you were like, I'm a good person before, right?
I don't know what I would. I don't know. Did I, Dan? I don't think I did. I don't think I don't feel like I learned. Well, I did learn things about myself out there. I learned that I could do a lot more than I thought I could do.
Yeah.
I learned that that just I don't know. I don't think I learned
No
anything.
personal growth. Look,
I don't think I did.
If only we could be as good as Nina.
I
is
know.
what-
I just, you know what it is? I didn't last long enough.
Okay, so but
Okay, well, maybe I learned to let go of some hard feelings that I had towards some people out there.
oh, I've never learned that, Matt.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Ask my husband because he would tell you no, that's not true.
Does she?
Because I still go over these feelings. Like on the way down
Yeah.
tonight, I went over them again.
There
I
you
went
go.
over about how I was really mad at certain people out there and how I'm kind of still mad at them.
Who are you still mad at?
I-
You can say their name. No one hears this. This is like the the fourth most downloaded Survivor show. Like
I'm still mad at Joe.
Joe, there you go.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
still mad at Joe.
You hear that, Joe? Nina's fucking coming for you, and there's a target on your head. JP and Ryno are here to fucking
Joe's
collect.
a really nice guy and stuff, but I'm just still really upset with him. I really want to sit down. I really want to sit down with Joe, and I really want to have a heart-to-heart talk with him, and then I think I can let go of all the anger I have towards him.
Wow, I like that.
Jonny,
Or a steel cage match.
Someone
Either
needs
way.
to start a Survivor counseling group for all these bitter ass
Yes.
people, like to make them kiss and make up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Or
exactly.
just have a Twitter war, and then it eventually becomes becomes a romance.
Well,
Yeah.
anything is
That's
possible.
a good idea, Matt. I like that idea.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about the peace. And Johnny Fairplay, I mean, your arch nemesis War Dog is in the same fucking room as you right now. So the fact that
He's not.
He's
He's not
not.
allowed to be. He's not allowed to be.
Oh, he's still on the island.
He's
Well,
he's on the edge of extinction, getting no airtime. How is that? Like that motherfucker did nothing there too. It's like his first 3 episodes on Edge of Extinction.
well, all I know is I want to get back to talking about some of the other beautiful, just reuniting people on this loved one visit. You got Lauren and her dad. You know, I don't have daughters, I have sons, but I tell you what, seeing her and her dad and Victoria and her dad and even Victoria.
Daughters are better, actually.
Well, I mean, you would know.
I know.
You,
I would.
You,
I'm telling you,
you
it's a
have,
fact.
You have that's awesome, man. And what I thought was cool about Victoria and her dad was, you know, she started watching Survivor when she was 6 years old, right? And her dad is a huge fan. So for her dad to be out there and experiencing that shit was awesome. And
my favorite part of that was she had her dad, not her boyfriend. So I'm thinking maybe things with the boyfriend aren't as serious as I like dream or have nightmares that they are, and there's still a chance.
well, hey. Well,
Does anyone notice Victoria's underwear? Because I do every episode. That's
and
Nina.
then,
Yeah.
and then,
It's-
and then we got Ron and Ron's husband Lloyd that came out and to the island, and he seems like a super cool dude, and I loved watching them play in the challenge that they ended up doing. You know, and
I feel like Ron outkicked his coverage. I think Ron's a good-looking guy, but Lloyd's much better looking than Ron. Like he's almost out of his league. I mean, but if Oprah tells you to write a book and you write a book and then they do a movie with Matthew Perry playing you, then you could get someone like Lloyd.
Well,
but I think without all that, I don't think Ron gets Lloyd.
So, Nina, what do you think of Ron as a character this season? I honestly have enjoyed watching Ron play this game.
You're asking the wrong person.
Why? You saw him tonight.
No, I don't have an opinion on Ron. I mean, I guess he's been okay. I really have enjoyed watching like Aurora. I'm all for girl power.
Yeah,
I've been
right on.
enjoying Lauren.
Cool.
You know,
Who do you want from the people that are in the game at the moment? You know, now that War Dog, the person you wanted to win, is out, who would you want to win?
my first pick would be Aurora.
Yeah, but War Dog's
I
still
really
in.
want Aurora to win. I don't know what it is about her. I just am drawn towards her. I just really like her.
Aurora
My
has a good
second
story.
choice- my second choice is Gavin, and I don't know. Maybe he just seems like a I don't know. He just seems like a real person. So I really like him. And I kind of feel bad that he had to leave 2 days after getting married. So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. A quick peek behind the curtain. The day before the premiere of the season, I had dinner with Gavin and his new wife, Carly. And we sat down for dinner. I was just like, hey, I don't know anything about season. I don't want to know anything about season. I hate spoilers. I was just like, don't tell me. And he's like, oh, I ain't telling you nothing. And I was like, okay. And I asked Carly, I'm like, do you know? And she goes, he spent 3 days telling me everything that happened. I'm just like, well, this motherfucker makes it more than the first vote. Like, because it don't take 3 days to be like, well, we boiled water. And then I got wood that one time. So I had a gut feeling that Gavin might do okay.
Yeah, and it was cool having his, wife come out. The fact that he did get married 2 days before. But you know what, man? I tell you what, I'm a married guy, but I'm also like a huge fan of Survivor. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. Even if I got married and didn't really get to go on a honeymoon, I would still be stoked as hell that I got to play Survivor. So with the money he's making from no matter if he gets voted out now or not, he's going to make a good chunk of change, and they can go to freaking Fiji and take an extended honeymoon. That'll be badass if they choose to do it. But it was cool to see them reunited. And when Ron and Lloyd win this, challenge where you got to, transfer the water from bucket to bucket, which is always a cool challenge. Ron and Lloyd win, and he ends up picking Julie and her husband and Gavin and his wife. And I think that's kind of like a given. Like, kind of like when you feel sorry for Johnny Fairplay and the dead grandma, you pick Johnny Fairplay. But I think picking Gavin and his wife is the right move. No matter that's the human move, in my opinion, outside of the game. You know what I mean?
Well, a peek behind the curtain and in a human move by me. Like, let's just say, for argument's sake, that Reem is here tonight, and I asked Reem a question, and we'll just fast forward to whatever the answer would be because she's not here, and I wouldn't have asked her. But if War Dog were here, I would have asked War Dog who his loved one would have been, and it would have been his mother. And I believe her name was Irene, if I'm guessing correctly, because I have no clue because he's not here.
Right.
But I asked how painful it was. It would have been watching, knowing that you were right there, that night on Edge of Extinction was a tough one because unlike Ghost Island and other seasons where they fly out, the additional loved ones, and then they're like, hey, your person was eliminated last night, but you get to hang out with them on the Ponderosa. On the Edge of Extinction, there's no Ponderosa.
Wow.
Unless War Dog would have been a bitch and quit, and then he could have seen his mom.
But yeah, missing the love, missing the loved one visit.
Right.
Missing the loved one visit by one person would totally suck. Now I'm wondering.
But at the same time, I kind of like the fact that if he were here and were to answer, you know what? Like, I only see my mom once or twice a year anyways. So I came to play Survivor, win Survivor. That reminds me of a 30-year-old Pearl Islands Johnny Fairplay, and I respect that a whole hell of a lot.
Well, what we've learned is throughout this season, Johnny Fairplay, is as much as, we went from you despising and talking mass shit on the War Dog to actually realizing that the War Dog is basically Johnny Fairplay bald.
And with a stupid hat. I don't have any stupid hats, like we'll lie for food.
I love it. I love it. So, they get to go on a picnic at camp, which, man, I was looking over at my wife and, because we're both big fans, and I was like, man, that would be so freaking awesome just to be able to have your loved one just chilling at camp.
I would just like to have a picnic with your wife because she's hot. So, next time I'm in Cincinnati, like, instead of me and you go in the record shop, maybe me and Tessa can go on a picnic.
Oh, yeah.
I want to have a picnic with your wife.
Oh, Nina's in.
Everyone wants to go on a damn picnic with my wife. Damn, shit.
It's a pretty good alliance, Matt.
Oh, that's right. So we at this picnic we see Ron and Lloyd talking, and Ron's basically telling Lloyd, like, man, I'm kind of running this show and I've had to lie, cheat, and steal my way to get kind of where I am. And to me, a lot of times, man, watching Survivor, when it's almost like foreshadowing when you see someone saying really how they're running the show, it's like, I don't know. That could be.
Ron had a whole lot of power early, and then he ate a great big slice of humble pie, and I thought he learned his lesson, and then he got a little bit of power again. He was like, nah, fuck it. I'm just going to be a dick. And, hey, like, if you're in control of the game, you're in control of the game. But, like, I as egotistical as I was on my confessionals, there, I would second guess myself here and there just to kind of keep myself in check, because if you don't, you'll end up in that like Tawana, like, she got that little bit of power and it's just like, it's like, well, this isn't gonna work. Right. So on. you got to check yourself. And another quick thing, like earlier during the picnic, we see Gavin and he's fighting bacteria, he's killing. I don't know if you're aware that you're not allowed to cry in Tennessee because it makes you less of a man.
Apparently, he was definitely.
So I'm moving to Tennessee. I'm going to raise my girl, because I don't even think girls should be able to cry in Tennessee either. I think that should be the rule. I think so. It's going to be. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough kids. It's going to be good.
Right on. So right after this picnic, dude, Devon's they're showing the camp, and Devon's kind of walks into Aurora going through his stuff. And just kind of catches her, and she just is kind of like, whatever. So what do you guys think about, and we've talked about this before, people going through other people's belongings in the game of Survivor? Is that acceptable as gameplay or unacceptable?
I don't know. To me, I think it's acceptable. I was prepared for it, and I did find out they went through my bag, but I didn't find out until... I don't know, I think it was Jen did an interview on Reddit and asked me anything. And that's when I found out they went through my bag. But I knew they had gone through my bag because I had this little thing in there that it wasn't a hidden immunity idol, but they all thought I had one. So I just picked this like piece of driftwood up off the beach and kind of wrapped it up and stuck it in there. So thinking if they felt my bag from the outside, they'd think I had one.
Right.
Well, I had carried my bag with me everywhere. I never left my bag by itself, except this one night I fell asleep and I woke up and I thought, shit, I left my bag out there. So I went and got my bag, and it's super dark. You guys know how super dark it is out there. You can't see nothing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm in my bag and I'm all reaching around in there and I don't find it at all. And I'm like, crap, they got it, Now I'm going to feel really stupid because it's just this fake thing that it wasn't even a fake idol. It was just a decoy. That's what it was, a decoy. Yeah, right. So anyways, I get up the next, I'm like, well, I can't do anything. So I fall back asleep. I get up when it's daylight, and I look in my bag, and it's in there, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe they didn't search my bag. Okay, so maybe they do still think I have a hidden immunity idol. I don't know. Anyways, I find out months later that they did go through my bag, and I mean, I really wasn't mad about it, but I mean.
So it's all part.
You had your bag searched, and you're still cool with it.
I am cool with it, but what I'm not cool with is what Jen talked about. The bag on the Ask Me Anything, she told everybody that what I had in my bag I thought was an idol, and it was a piece of cow shit. Okay, well, I don't know what it was. To me, I thought it was driftwood. I really didn't care because it was a decoy, but she told everybody that I thought a cow patty was a fake idol, like I'm some stupid idiot. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I'm kind of mad at Jen, too.
All right, so Jen and Joe, look out.
Well,
I will never forgive Jen, ever, ever, ever. I will never like her.
Wow, there you go. Fighting words. Right in the sand.
Well,
Rachel, hold on. We need you to chime in on this. Come. We have Rachel from Millennials versus Gen X.
Right on.
Let's hear it. Yay.
Yay.
All right, Rachel. What is your policy on going through bags? Are you cool? Like other than TSA, because safety first, obvious. I'm wearing a condom tonight.
Oh, great!
Well,
Good to know.
It's Los Angeles. I'm scared.
Okay. Hi, Matt.
Hi. How's it going?
Nice to finally see you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of meeting you today, right?
Right. That's right. Good to see you.
Well, Jay tried to trip me on the way up here, but I'll answer your question anyway. Going through bags. I wasn't on the island long enough. I didn't go through anyone's bag.
But what is your philosophy on it? Are you
Go
cool
through
with it?
bags.
Go through bags.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, I think that's more of a girl thing than a guy thing.
Well, I think what
Ryno, you cool with going through bags?
Jay says no. Do you want to elaborate?
Ryno's cool with it. Jay?
Because Jay has
No.
girls looking through his stuff. That's why.
Yeah, personal property. Like,
He's
yeah.
triggered. Jay's triggered right now. What did you say? Tell him. I was trying to go in his DMs
There
on
you go.
Instagram, and he wouldn't let me, which is shady. So he's against this.
I
whole
have
going
I
into
have
bags.
slipped into Jay's DMs.
What do you
Eggplant,
see?
eggplant. That's all I can say. And we don't even have emojis enabled. I don't even know what that means.
I believe it.
JP, are you pro or anti going through bags?
Bags suck, and here's the reason why.
Oh, please.
Sarge came up to me and he goes, "Is that your bag?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You need to put all your belongings in it because you're not coming back to camp tonight."
Wow.
I hate it. Bad feelings, Matt. Bad feelings about the bags.
He's anti-bag.
I think the only bags that Jonny Fairplay doesn't like are tea bags. Is that right, Jonny?
I am very.
Not true.
I'm anti.
He likes tea
Oh,
bags.
what? No. I'm anti. I am anti tea bags. For the most part.
Tea bags are in Jay Sterritt.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we do have a
DM.
JP has a tea bag. So would you like to tell your tea bag story? Okay.
Please do.
It's a good one. Later. All right. So,
Right, so-
join us
right,
for the Q&A. We'll be telling teabag stories.
Right.
It's gonna
So,
be great.
anyways, we see Rick Devens.
What else he got?
Rick Devens goes looking for an idol. He finds a clue, and then we see Rick Devens climbing up this coconut tree while everyone is sleeping and somehow manages to get the idol. I honestly thought there ain't no way this dude is going to pull this off. The damn tree is going to break from his dad bod. He's going to fall into the freaking shelter, and everyone's going to see what he's doing. But he doesn't. He pulls it off. And
He's surprisingly athletic. Like, I got called out during the Nashville show. If you look at his Twitter feed, this motherfucker does some athletic shit. Like, for a guy with a dad bod, he is much more athletic than he should be.
No, and Devens is funny, man. Like, I like Rick Devens.
Yeah,
Now,
I liked it when he's like, I'm going to go get it right now. No, I'm not going to get it right now.
That was funny.
I like rethinking shit out loud is good.
But I want to ask people there. So I'm battling because I'm a fan of Rick Devens. However, the whole Edge of Extinction theme in general, I'm not really all too stoked on. Are you guys, if Rick Devens makes it to the end of the game and wins the game, do you think that is a fair winner when he's been voted out? Or do you think, listen, if you're voted out of the game, I don't care how cool, how nice you are, you should not be deserving of the $1 million. As a Survivor purist, from the beginning of time when the show first started, are you guys cool with that if Devens was to make it to the end and win?
There's a couple season 33 Castaways there. We're David fans, so maybe I'm not the one that should answer this.
Yeah. All right. So what?
I said there's a couple of us from season 33 here, and we're David fans, so maybe I.
Oh, right.
Okay,
You're
so
David
if
fan.
it's David, you're okay with it, but Devens, are you okay with it or no?
I'm just rooting for David right now. However, I have met War Dog before, and he's pretty cool too.
Oh wow! Where did you meet him?
Where did I meet him?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember. Just some random bar.
So
I'm on a personal if the person that came in at the halfway point, if they reintegrated and played the majority of the game, I'm okay with the $1 million vote there. The person, if someone's voted back in like day 37 or day 38, I do not you do not get if Joe comes back, he doesn't get my vote.
Well,
Because Joe didn't play the game. I mean, like someone like War Dog that made it pretty close to the end. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna see and I think he's had some pretty good jury speeches just during Tribal. So I think there could be something there. I think right now the odds-on favorite to win this thing is Devens, and I think Gavin is a close second.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I mean, as much as I love David and some of the others, I think based on just confessional count and how it's going, I think Devins is
it has Rick Devins written all over.
Yeah, it has Rick Devins, but you never know. I don't think Gavin has. I like Gavin, but I don't think he's been shown enough to be the winner of Survivor Edge of Extinction.
Hold on, Ryno, real quick, come up.
Ryno.
Ryno has a personal opinion about people being voted back into the game.
Let's talk to the OG over here.
What's up, Ryno? How are you, brother?
So I'm doing good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you said that. You fucking hate Lil. So why would you want Burton or Lil, Outcast, to win a fucking game? I'm with you, Matt.
I
don't agree with it.
I would.
But you think that
Halfway through.
Wait, I mean, she was out what 9 or 10 days.
I'm anti-Lil.
Okay.
So, but Burton, I felt played the majority of the game.
I mean, put it this way.
I was going to bring Burton to the end, and I think my final jury speech is you don't take an 8-day vacation.
And that's what I told Lil.
Yeah.
So she got all mad at me afterwards. It was like, I go 29.
Oh, you talked to Lil?
Yeah. She pulled me aside. You guys hid. Everybody left.
Yeah, good, smart.
But I tell you what, as someone, as a player, obviously, if I get voted out and I have the option to go to Edge of Extinction, hell yeah, I'm down with Edge of Extinction if I can get back in the game and
But if you don't
potentially
respect
win.
anyone coming back in the game, then you shouldn't even bother wasting your time going the Edge of Extinction.
Right, but I don't know. I still find it hard. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact, as much as I love Rick Devins, if he somehow comes back to win, or if David or Aubrey or anybody that comes back to win, if you're voted out, you're voted out, in my opinion.
Well, if the final three is Rick Devins and Julie, I'm picking Rick Devins.
Yes, right.
You mean and like Joe? So Joe doesn't get any votes.
Yeah, Joe gets no votes.
I mean, Rick Devins right now has the ultimate comeback story.
Yeah. If it's Rick Devins, Julie, and Joe, I'm giving my vote to Rick Devins.
I'm voting for Joe.
You are not. Ryno is a liar.
But so back to Devin. I was stoked he found the idol. Good for Rick Devins. I thought it was entertaining, and then
it was fun TV. It was really fun TV.
It was super fun TV.
He's playing a hell of a game. I love the fact instead of dropping the idol, he takes the paper out, makes sure Jeff validates that it's garbage, and then he comes back and Ron's face, it was perfect.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Oh, that's no. That's
I got excited.
Spoiler alert.
No, that's
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
That's perfectly okay.
Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, Anakin Skywalker.
That's perfectly okay. So we go to
correct.
this immunity challenge, classic Survivor challenge. You got to stand on these little footholds. Last one standing. It's painful looking. It looks like a lot of people are having trouble walking afterwards. I actually would like to try this challenge, in my backyard sometime, Johnny, to see if it actually is as terrible
John
as it
actually
looks.
built one.
Yeah,
He has one.
Cool.
I am heavy now. So I did. I peeked behind the curtain. I got into Los Angeles yesterday, and I did Runyon Canyon. Went up to the top and then ran down, and then I went back again today. And before I did my first Survivor, I did that twice a day, and I am 50 pounds heavier. And it ain't easy. I was just like, man, I think I'd be a lot better at Survivor. And I'm just like, yep, well, apparently not.
50. Wow.
I was much more
pounds.
fleet-footed back in 2003.
Oh yeah.
50 pounds.
I think all of us were fleet-footed.
You're exactly right. I think we all were.
But I'm stronger, so put me up, beside someone like War Dog, I'm gonna be right there.
Right.
You dominate.
I would dominate.
You know what's funny about?
I'm so glad that I can freely say stuff like that and not worry. Because I'm immensely smaller than the War Dog.
You know what's crazy though? Is you sat at the big boys table when we did the challenge.
The challenge from last week was the keel haul challenge.
Keel hauling challenge, which they couldn't even do.
Yeah.
We went and you.
I went all the way.
You got
I
fourth.
was a smoker then.
You got fourth. Yeah, you did well.
Yeah.
But then again, we were 16 years younger.
Well,
17.
That's I mean.
Stop.
Yeah.
No one said there'd be math.
Yeah, that's a big deal. 16 years is a long time. So Gavin ends up winning this challenge, and man, it's the second challenge win in a row. So this is a good.
This was Gavin's episode. We had the story that he hadn't shared with anyone up until that moment, the loved ones thing, that he got married, he pushed his wedding up 2 days. That was huge. Breaking that story now, it was kind of like Nick last season with the story of his dad, having to sell blood to buy milk. I'm like, these guys are playing very similar games, and despite Gavin not getting the airtime Nick got on David vs. Goliath, I really think there's a story that's being built. Like, I think if Gavin does win, Gavin's the victim of Devon's being a really good character and War Dog being a good character and taking away from their airtime. I mean, Aurora was killing it in early confessionals, and I think the arrival of the War Dog, I think, stole her confessional time.
Oh yeah,
she's definitely faded out.
Right, 100%.
Or Victoria, sorry.
Yeah,
Victoria.
Victoria was. I mean, we've talked about that. So, back at camp, after this challenge, no one is talking, and Devon's is freaking hilarious, dude, because he's not afraid to call everyone out and just make kind of jokes about the situation, which I love.
That's all you can do.
You know what I mean?
That's all you can do at that.
I love that. So we end up seeing a scene where he's talking to Ron and Julie, and they're like, hey, we're voting Aurora, and Julie actually feels really bad about it, but it's like, Ron's like, dude, this is a game of Survivor. It's like, you can't put your, personal feelings on the line when you're playing for $1 million. However, there's a human element to this game, and it's easier said than done. You make real bonds. I don't know about you, Fairplay, but Ryno,
well, no.
you make real bonds with people that last a lifetime, and
No, you're right. I did. You make bonds and you try to strategize, and you get voted out by Fairplay. I mean, you were smart though to get rid of me.
I was.
You knew I was getting ready to go deep in the game, and he's like, "Oh, nope." And Krista goes, "Let's vote out Burton," and Johnny's like, "Nope, he's dumb." We love Buff, but
that's hilarious.
So, no, I thought the best part of that scene was you have Rick Devens telling Ron and Julie goes, if this goes down the way you say it's going to go down, this will be the second time that you've saved me. Right. But what he didn't say was, if this doesn't go down, this will be the third time you fucked me.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep, totally, man.
So, and the latter was more correct, and I think he felt it and knew it.
Yeah, right. Well, the one plan is hey, listen, if Devens does play a real idol, then we vote Aurora out and she'll go. But Victoria and Lauren are talking a different plan. They want Ron out.
Yeah. Well, Victoria's still butthurt about not being chosen for that loved ones visit. That loved ones visit can fuck up your game. I mean, like, that was a very calculated move on my part. So, like, it was just like, ooh, this, the people resent you for that. Like, if it's the grandma thing is misconstrued in any way, that fucks you. You're gone right there. And Ron made a calculated decision, bringing his number one ally, Julie, which he had to do because he kind of left her in the dark a couple times. Yeah, and then you have Gavin, who has a good story, and there's no real consequence for taking Gavin under those conditions.
Right.
So yeah. So and he was questioning Gavin's loyalty a hair, and he knew he could solidify their bond, by giving him that moment, but that was all for naught.
Right. You gotta take people that that you want to keep from talking, or somebody that you gotta coddle.
Yeah.
If somebody's upset, you gotta coddle them, or you gotta take.
Julie could have flipped on him if he had left her out this one.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So anyway, Victoria and Lauren, they want to split the votes to where if Devens has an idol, that Ron goes home, and Aurora, she wants to give Gavin this extra vote that she has, right? In case something.
Just in case there's a tie, the person with immunity is allowed to vote again.
Right, and then Gavin's kind of like, man, I don't know. He just gave me the family visit, And I'm like, dude, like, you can't be thinking about the family visit. You got to be thinking about, making it to the end of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. He makes the right decision. I did like when we arrive at Tribal Council, we have our first look at War Dog on this episode, and he's still wearing the stupid hat.
Well, I tell you what, overall, this episode I felt was a good episode. However, War Dog brought something to this season, man, that was entertaining and fun. Whether you are pro War Dog or anti War Dog, he was a polarizing character, kind of like Angelina was last season. And it sucks that he's gone, but we'll see if he comes back from Edge of Extinction. But I tell you what, man, the way this tribal went down, I don't want to break down the whole thing scene by scene.
I think it all comes down to the end when, it looks like it's going to be Devon's, and then, anybody has an idol now, it's time to play that. And, Devon's reads the parchment. We learned that there was an expiration date that had been removed from that secret menu advantage.
Yep.
And Devon says, man, like, what a piece of shit. Like, you make me look stupid in front of my kids. Like that's like you're a shit person. And then it's like, oh, just kidding. I mean, I think right there by calling out Julie and Ron, he completely destroyed any chance either one of them had at winning $1 million.
I agree. And I felt that this tribal council is one of the best of the season. I know we had the crazy live tribal a few weeks ago, but this one was a good one.
I think this was the best. Like, and because you saw like Devon's visually and emotionally tainted that jury against Ron and Julie, and Julie got linked in as tight as you can get with Ron during that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So I can't wait to see what happens next week. And Jonny Fairplay, it's been super fun. I know you've had a great time with a bunch of awesome survivors in California. And I don't know, man. What you got any last words?
If War Dog was here, I would tell him good luck on that challenge to get back in the game. Maybe I'm rooting for you.
Right on. Well, thank you guys.
Can he beat out Joe? That's the real question. I don't think so. I could put $1 million on it.
Right on.
Don't take Ryno's check.
Right on. But thank you guys.
Hey, I want to thank everyone here at Busby's West. Let's hear it. This has been an incredible crowd. This is easily the most beautiful crowd in the history of the Survivor NSFW podcast. It's like you have to be extra beautiful to be here in San, and it is obvious. And Ryno's here.
Yeah.
So
how much do you pay for that clap track?
$12. I got it with my ringtone money. So until next week, we'll
see you guys.
Patreon. If you want to see this, you can watch us. And after this, we're filming a Q&A. And the Q&A you won't be able to see until right after the season. And it's going to be a few surprises on there. So until next week.
Yep.
Go patreon.com/Survivor NSFW.
And we will see you next time on Survivor NSFW. Cheers, everybody.